Easy tigers. I hope everyone is fine and dandy. Welcome. Today we're going to be looking at waterfalls. It's just something that's been playing on my mind for years. Now this is a spot where I like to come all the time and think about stuff, because when I'm here stuff seems to come to me when I'm out in nature. So, where do the water from the waterfalls come from? Why don't they ever run out of water? And how did the water get pumped nearly a kilometre up these mountains, or teepees? Let's have a look. But first things first, I just want people to understand my background. I'm a plumber, a mechanical engineer, heating engineer, whatever you want to call it. So I'm familiar with building services, plumbing, heating, water pipes and block work, and so it's my forte. So I put everything I've learnt in the last 12 years and I'm putting it towards everything that I'm going out and seeing, and it's quite remarkable what I'm finding. So let's get stuck into it. A teepee is a Spanish word for a tabletop mountain or mesa found in the Guyana highlands of South America, especially in Venezuela and Western Guyana. The word teepee means house of gods in the narrative tongue of the Penam. So, teepee is literally, or teepee should I say, is a giant tabletop. Don't look natural in my eyes whatsoever. But Mount Roraima is famous for its tabletop with its flat plateau bounded on all sides by massive cliffs, raising 400 metres and often stays above the fog and the clouds. Mount Roraima also hosts a couple of waterfalls, usually referred to as Roraima Falls, which leaps off the teepee in 4-tiered leaps, which is nearly 2,000 feet. Now, how in the world did the water get up there? So, are these teepees plateaus? So it goes to say that teepees are the remains of large sandstone plateaus that once covered the granite basement complex between the north border of the Amazon basin and the Orinoco. So it also goes to say, since long before the arrival of the Europeans, the Native Americans of the region basically have myths and legends claiming that the mount used to be, or is, a stump of an almighty tree that once held the fruits and the tuberous vegetables in the world. And it once fell by their trickster, their mythological trickster, and it come crashing to the ground and caused a ginormous flood. It's quite interesting, and it does actually, that backs up other stories, like when they say these chopped down plateaus look like trees. This pretty much does back it up. So, what do we see when we see these mountains? We do actually see identical to tree stumps. Identical. But are they though? Because personally, I believe that when something dies, it don't work no more. So, a tree, it's not going to be sucking up water through the roots if it's dead, is it? That's what I believe, but I'm wrong. It's only my opinion. Don't shoot me down. You got your opinion, I've got my opinion. Boom, boom, boom. See, tree stumps. Exactly like tree stumps. But me personally, I think these were old buildings. Vernacular buildings. Vernacular means they're built out of the materials around. That's what I personally believe. But like I said, my opinion. That's all it is. It's an opinion. It's just phenomenal. Now, I want to look at this Pacific tabletop, because this one here has the highest waterfall in the world. And it's almost 8.5, 9 miles long. Almost 9 miles long. So, from the top of the Mount Roraima, millions of litres are drained from several incredible high waterfalls, which drop the 400 metre, which is 1,312 foot, tall cliffs of the teepee, with 2,810 metres, which is 9,220 feet high. So how does the water get above this? If this is above the clouds, how does water get here to the top of these places? It's pumped. I'm telling you, it's got to be pumped. It must only be pumped. There must be an old world plumbing system that worked universal, that pumped water around rivers, canals. It kept the pressure correct. It kept everything flowing correctly. But we've lost that. We've lost that knowledge somewhere, so we're just told this is a river and it's natural, but really it's been made. And let's be real, it doesn't rain millions of litres every single day just to keep the flow of that water the same. The water does fluctuate of the size of the river during seasons, but it doesn't shrink. So there's always a constant flow. Now, check this out. Angel Falls, right?
Using a single giant pump to pipe water right to the top of a building as tall as the Burj Khalifa would be dangerous. Forcing water this high up takes extreme pressure, which could make the pipes explode. So engineers pump the water up in stages. First, to a huge reservoir on the 40th floor. Then, to a series of 200,000-gallon tanks, until it reaches the top of the building. Then the water simply flows back down under its own weight. Almost 250,000 gallons of water a day pass through the building, enough to keep its inhabitants happy.
Right, so the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, it actually pumps 250,000 litres of water to the top of the building every day. But this does 8 times more than that. Now let me just give you an indication of how big the pumps must be. This is a pump set for St Bart's Hospital, which is quite a big building. It's this big. So this hospital had 8 of these pump sets that we built. Now they're not really that big pumps, but they're quite powerful. Like, they do the job. They pump water and heating around these buildings. Now this is the biggest pump in the world. It's a bit of a mouthful. The Pentair Fairbank Nijhuis. It's a Dutch pump basically, because apparently, well, not apparently, Holland is underwater, so they have to get these big pumps to pump the water out. So this is the biggest pump in the world. So let me give you an indication of some fun facts of what this pump can actually do. Okay, so let's have a look. So the equator. Let's have a look. The equator. If you were to wrap a garden hose around the Earth's equator, it would take this pump just 1 minute and 25 seconds to fill it with water. So, the Empire State Building in New York. If you want to fill the Empire State Building with water to create a very interesting pool party, you will be ready to take a splash in just under 5 hours. Oh, so that's quite interesting. Now, let's have a look at Egypt. If you want to move your pool party to Egypt, the most powerful pump in the world would fill this landmark in 11 hours and 57 minutes. It also goes to say it would take over 2,000 years to fill the Grand Canyon up with 5 trillion cubic yards of water. It's just a stupid little fact, that one. Actually, can't even think that one. But swimming pools, like an Olympic swimming pool. Let's have a look at that one, yeah? It would fill it up in 1.5 seconds, an Olympic swimming pool, 50 metres. That's quite a powerful pump. That is, in fact, that is bloody powerful. And that's the most powerful pump in the world. I don't think this would have a problem pumping the water up 1 kilometre into the sky. No problem. But like I said, the lowest point of Holland is actually 20 feet below sea level. So this is why they've got these sort of pumps knocking around. They need it to keep the water out. So, another ginormous waterfall, which is the second tallest major waterfall in Venezuela after Angel Falls, and it's called the Cucanum Falls. Cucanum. Which is quite funny, because it says that the water trickles down towards the base of it. If you look at the pictures I've just shown you, this is not trickling. This is... So you tell me which water gets slower and smaller as it gets to the bottom. No chance, mate. So, it flows over a flat sandstone cliff and then plunges down into a single drop between unspoilt tropical rainforest without any signs of civilization. After its first break in the waterfall, continues to flow over a series of steep cascades for another 25 metres, about 101 feet, bringing a total of 251 metres, 822 feet, and a combination height of 663 cubic metres per second. Wow! So you're telling me that it goes that fast and then turns and then trickles at the bottom? These guys must think we are so silly, it's unbelievable. But if you look, this is not trickling at the bottom, is it? This is not trickling. Now I zoomed in because I see these two squares, but I think they are actually shadows of the side of the cliff. And another thing is, it don't always look like they come from rivers either. Now this one looked like it come from a river. And it also looked like the river was going uphill. But some of them look like they're coming out the side of a mountain. Or the side of the teepee. Do you get me? Look at this. Now, given the size of that building, that's probably about 15-20 metres from the ledge, from the top to where that's exiting the water. Because don't forget, this is a kilometre high. So it goes to say, about 9 miles long and 2,772 metres high, it is the source of many rivers. So this thing, these waterfalls are creating these rivers. So it can't be from rain, can it? You don't rain rivers every single day. And another thing about this is, look at the numerology. Look at its points of reference. 666. And it's called Angel Falls. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this up. This has been put here on purpose, I believe. It's been built here specifically. Ancient knowledge that we've lost. Now let's follow these rivers where they say they start from. Because I'm telling you now, they do. It says that river we just looked at, this is this point by the way, passes this teepee. It says it rises up it, and then rises and then flows back down. But we don't see it rising up. We see it coming from the tabletop and then flowing into the river. Let me just show you. We'll follow it. Come follow me. Come follow me. Right, watch. So, I've just shown you that waterfall there. Okay, and this is the river on top of the tabletop that feeds this waterfall, which is Angel Falls. The River Churon. Alright, and that looks like man-made as it is anyway. Look at the angles on that. Now, some of it looks like it's dried up. If you just look. So you can see all these little branches coming off it. Now, someone told me that that's how rivers form, and I do fully understand that and believe that in some parts of the world, but it can't be going on here because the bits that the guy was pointing out are all dried up. Look, dried up. Dried up. So where does this water come from? I've just recently showed you need one of the biggest pumps in the world to get the water up here. So how is the water getting up here? Why hasn't it ever run out? See, that's where the river starts here. And this is the ledge. See? It don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. It says there's a river flying over it, but it isn't. It seems to pop out at the middle of nowhere and then just flow along, man-made course, and then drop down the side. Does this look like it's trickling to you? Does this look like this is the start of a river coming from the waterfall? So you're telling me this much rain has to come through every day just to maintain this pressure of water? Look at this river. Look at the river. So I believe this is all man-made. All man-made. And another thing is, when I was looking around here, having a right old sniff around, I don't know why Google decided to block this thing out. Now, it could only be an obelisk in my eyes. Like, why is that blocked out? I don't understand. Help me out, please. Teepees tend to be found as isolated entities rather than connected ranges. So they are typically composed of sheer blocks, so that says it all, that rise abruptly from the jungle, giving rise to the spectacular natural scenery. Iron Tepe is the source of Angel Falls, the world's largest waterfall. So it goes to say that the tabletop, that is the source. It says that structure there on the top right hand side that looks like a mountain is the source of the largest waterfall in the world. God, give me a break, mate. The water's obviously pumped up. The water does not go up, it goes down. That's two things they teach you in plumbing. You get paid on Friday and water goes down. Simple. And when I started looking into this stuff, again, it showed you blockwork. Like it's all man-made. And look, ginormous blocks. Oh, like this is in England, I'm showing you. And then the waterfall is Angel Falls in America, in South America. Sometimes when I get excited, I can't get my words out, as you just noticed. But it's clearly blockwork. This is old world plumbing. Either they don't know how to turn it off, or they can't find the valve, or they don't go inside these teepees. I believe these teepees are houses in, not houses, but vernacular houses. People lived in them. Perfect weather for heat, or when you're cold, you go inside. They're the same temperature all year round. Look, they've clearly got flowing fresh water as well, and you're not going to get harmed by anything. You're completely protected inside these places. So I believe these are old, very old vernacular buildings that have got ancient plumbing that hasn't been turned off. And I think they've just slapped concrete down them and mud over them just to make them look like they're natural. Just like they do with the coastlines in England that I've exposed, where they pour concrete down it to make it look like natural. Nothing's natural. That's what I'm coming to the conclusion. Now, nothing in this world is natural. And I swear in the Bible somewhere, like, I'm not a religious guy, but it says that everything's been man-made for you. But someone, please quote me on that. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. But this is the top of that teepee. This looks like melted buildings. How is this natural? How is this formed up here, a kilometre in the sky on top of this mountain? Look at it. This looks like the remains of an ancient building. Maybe it could have been a power station. Maybe there was penton wheels at the bottom, and it was generating power back in the day. Just guessing. Just guessing. Don't shoot the messengers down. But look, what is natural here? Now this is called limestone pavement. Again, like I'm starting to believe after all this research, anything done in limestone is not natural. It's been poured. And it's funny they've got a little pyramid up here as well, huh? Brazil, eh? See, nothing looks natural. It looks, I don't know, look, looks like a melted or something. Look at the right angle on it as well. And I mean, the water pressure would be remarkable from up here as well. But look, this is the blockwork that I found in the south of England, and it's identical to this blockwork here. And look at the size of Abbey compared to the blocks. It gives you an idea. This is all man-made, I'm telling you. More blocks. More blocks at the waterfall. Like, you can't make this up. I can't believe I never noticed this before. And remember what I said in the last video. Cast. Cast is a landscape made of limestone. So you cast something, it's moulded, and it's always depicted with blocks. Now check this out, because this reminded me of Cappadocia, caves in cast towers, and then you've got these cast towers again. So I believe Cappadocia was all man-made, all vernacular man-made buildings. Look at it. And then you've got this on here we're going to look at, limestone pavement. Well, you're telling me all this is natural? Give me a break, please. Help me out. So I'm going off on one here because it's so obvious now. Now that I can see it, it's just unbelievable. So limestone features. It gives you pavements, gorges, drainage systems, caves, stalagmites, holes, sinkholes, shake holes, swallow holes. And we're told all these are natural. I don't think so. I really don't think so anymore. Maybe these limestone pavements were for cables or something to go through where they could use pulleys and things like that. I don't know, I'm just guessing. But and again, they're depicted as blockwork. So in my eyes, it tells you that this is all man-made. What is this for? Was there an advanced system of pulleys that went along this to pull people up and down the buildings? Look at this. Now this is actually, I've actually switched, we're in England now. Because I found this limestone pavement all over England. It was unbelievable. This is everywhere as well. But again, blockwork on top of it. And what I don't look at that. Look at that. What were these for? I don't understand. What were these for? And when you see the stonework or the blockwork, and the brick or the block separates, what happened there? Did the block decide to stop growing and then after a while decide to grow again? Do you get what I'm saying? Look at that, it's blockwork. It's been put there on purpose. This is not natural. I did actually try and see if I could find anything of houses inside these places, but I couldn't really find nothing. But I bet there is. And these are the grounds of these places. Look at it, man-made blockwork. All man-made. But there was a few little sniffs, a few little clues I'll share with you. Like inside, this is part of inside of it. I can just imagine lizards in there. And another part, this is inside. This is inside Mount Ur-Nammu. And again, this is another part where people camp. But take note, please, of the scratch marks that I always point out, which are on the ceiling. It seems like all these scratch marks have been taken off. But I digress. Look at these waterfalls. 1 kilometre in the sky. And it's pumping millions of litres of water a day. And it's above the clouds. How does the water get up there? Can only be pumped. Can only be pumped. Anyway, let's have a Brucey bonus. Niagara Falls without water in 1969. And the water was diverted so engineers could strengthen certain areas and slow erosion. Incredible, eh? Let's have a look. Again, it's just block work. It's an ancient system. Block work. Look at the blocks that have fallen off. So they diverted the water to somewhere else. Incredible. But look, block work. This is on the news. This was on the news. I think this one was in 1998, I think, or something like that. You can even see the blocks. You can see the cracks between the blocks. So everything, like, I can't keep saying it, it's all man-made. It's all man-made for us. This is a playground for our consciousness. Well, it's a prison planet, or a prison plane that's been constructed for our consciousness. Block work, look at this. Look at these blocks, look at the flat surfaces. Look at that. Look at that. Look at these blocks here in the centre of the screen now. What, you're telling me these are natural? Give me a break, please. I'm not having it. Again, more block work. Either done by giants. But look, you can see the separation in the blocks. Now, what, like I said earlier, in nature, what did nature decide to stop growing blocks and then go, oh, I'm going to grow more blocks today and then start another layer? No. It's all man-made. Done in sections. Probably by giants looking at it. And now this is in Durham in England. Look at this. Man-made waterfall again. Man-made waterfall. Part of an old world system that we have no knowledge about. And this caught my eye. This is an advert. Block work in the background. Slippery gits, eh? Slippery gits. This is one of my adverts that popped up. Can you Adam and Eve it, eh? Block work buildings or structures in the background. Right, now. This is Malvern. Malvern in England. These are mountains, but they clearly look like pyramids. This is somewhere I'm going to be going. I probably won't be going to do much this side of Christmas now because in England it gets very cold and wet. So I probably might not be doing that. I'll just be hibernating from now. But definitely, 3 pyramids. Looks like the 3 pyramids of Giza. Now, another thing is, I have a friend who went on holiday to Malta, and I told him to go and check some places out. And I told him to go here, really, because basically it's in the ditch of Valletta. And there's loads of stuff there to go and check out. But when he was there, he said they just finished up, literally just finished up, sealing up one of the holes. Which was this hole here. You can see it there. So I'm not going to blow my own trumpet. I am the only person online that's got footage of this place inside. I'm the only person. No one else has got it. No one else has been there. I've been there, but it's been blocked up now. So I strongly urge you check my early videos out of Malta. Because I go in these places, and a lot of them are being blocked up now, so you can't even go in them. But I have the footage. You can see what it used to be like. So I'm just going to give you a little glimpse of what going around the area, you know. So this is part of the Starfall. You can see all these little entrances that I call apartments, because they were apartments. They go in and down and round and all sorts of stuff. Into this poured limestone. Right, here we go. You can just see the corner of the entrance. because it's actually a big arch, but they've blocked most of it up, and there's about 20% of it that's accessible, like through the arch. So there's a little sliver that you can fit through. Here we go. This is the footage of me before it got blocked up. See, it's blocked up here. This is what my friend sent me, but it's open here. So you used to be able to go in here, and it would take you into a little section of underground Valletta, and it had about 10 rooms coming off each side. Not rooms, apartments full of rooms. And it also went uphill as well, like a 45-degree angle. But like I said, if you want to look at these videos, I strongly urge you go and check out my older, early Maltese videos, because I'm exposing some stuff over there that's now being blocked up. People can't even get inside this stuff. Come to the end of the show. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've seen something you ain't seen before, or a new insight that you haven't seen before. And like I said, I believe that these teepees were ancient buildings, houses of gods, that had fresh flowing water through. And if you think about it, how could the water have got to the top? Like millions of litres every day pouring off the top. There must be some sort of system inside that blockwork, taking water up inside and then branching off and coming out at different exits up there. They probably just ain't been turned off. But it's clearly there's a water cycle. The water leaves there, goes through rivers. This is what we're not aware of, water cycles. And obviously it must come back somehow and go back up. Perpetual, just keeps going. But that's just my thought anyway. And the truth about that is, no one really knows. No one knows. So, we can all have an opinion, can't we? So I hope you've enjoyed it. Take care, everyone. One love. Ta-da. Ta-da. Ta-da.